We have the technology.
I don't know about. Well, it is technology, so that is true. That is true. All right, ready? Put your glasses back on.
I'm cleaning them.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys. You look so stupid without your glasses on.
Thanks, Bobby.
You need to put them back on.
They're going back.
I need smart Toby back. There we go. There we go. Holy crap. Never take them off of my presents again. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to episode 94 of Nintendo Talk. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by my best friend in all the land, Mr. Toby Thornton. What's up, Toby?
How you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing very well.
Good. I'm alright. I've got the window open today.
Oh, so you're not going to sweat to death in there?
Hopefully not, no.
Why? Okay. Why is it your country doesn't have air conditioning?
I mean, commercial buildings have it. You go into a supermarket and they'll have it, but not a lot of people have it in their homes because the weather is most of the time it's so bad you don't need it.
I mean, I understand the hobbits don't like cold weather, but come on, man. Like, it gets hot.
I mean, I got a fan, little desk fan.
I mean, you guys have hair on top of your feet, so it doesn't get hot.
I do have hairy feet. This is true. I've got like centimeter to an inch long hair on my big toe. Like, yeah.
Oh my god. Anyway, oh my, good lord. What?
You're thinking about my feet now, aren't you?
I can't get it out of my head. I'm thinking like, man, them toes all up on my gums. It'd be amazing.
Oh. You know what? I'm like, my toes are really flexible. Like, I can spread them apart. And then I can like grip things and pick them up. And
oh, that's just.
I got like monkey feet.
When I was married, there was this time, Toby, in my life when I was married, and I had a dog. But now I never get to see the dog anymore because. Anyway, the dog used to like when I go to bed, the dog would lick my feet.
Yeah, they do. They love licking toe jams.
Oh man, I would just every night I go to bed, I pull the blankets up, right? I just let him go to. I let him go to town for like 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. And then when he was done cleaning up my feet, I'd be like, all right, get out of here. And I'd cover my feet back up and I'd be good to go. I miss that dog. At least he took care of me. Anyway. Man,
I'm loving your t-shirt today.
Oh, you like that, right?
Yeah, I love it. Look
awesome,
at that.
Right? Pretty awesome.
Who drew that? Where's that from?
I don't know. I got it from TeePublic. I don't know who the artist is, but it's really phenomenal. It's a pretty spectacular shirt. Toby, let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our Geek Outs.
With our Vive Cola sponsored Geek Outs.
Put your pinky down when you drink.
Not really sponsored, but you always got to do the pinky. British people do the pinky.
What are you, the Queen?
You sip your tea and the little pinky comes up. That's it. It's just British etiquette, Bobby.
Put your pinky up. Let's not start. What are you geeking out about?
Two things today. Cheating. I love to cheat, you know.
Yeah, I know.
So you know, last week I mentioned I was making a troll Mario Maker level.
Yes.
So I made it, uploaded it. It's called Big Troll.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday, my friend Dan came round, and he sat next to me on the sofa and played it. And I watched him play my troll level, and it was the funniest thing. For about 45 minutes, he tried to beat this level. He fell into every trap that I laid. It was beautiful, man. Like, I was laughing so hard. I was crying. I had to take my glasses off. It was just so much fun. And
can we hold on? Can we back it up a little bit?
What?
What do you mean, your friend Dan?
My friend Dan. You know Dan, who I cheated on you with.
Yeah. What are you doing over here now? He's your friend. What next is you to be your best friend?
No one's saying that.
You better slow down over there, Dan. I'll tell you right now, the two of you, I'm not feeling this little vibe going on. Next thing I know, you're gonna be doing the Nintendo PlayStation podcast. You're gonna steal the show and go over with him.
But Bob, you know what? I would love to watch you stream my troll.
No, that ain't happening.
Just see what happens.
No.
Oh, come on, please. No, everyone wants to see that. Trust me.
Listen, if we get 20 likes on the video, I will stream.
Okay. That's
so
fair.
Now that's up to you to go out and tell people, hey, if we get 20 likes on this video, Bobby will stream my troll level. So it's up to you to get,
Oh man.
I'll leave it to you.
It made me feel so good inside watching him struggle and have pain whilst playing my level. Like,
I'll be screaming
to watch you do that, Bobby. Oh.
Anyway, what's your second geek out?
And second geek out is you remember way back before E3 we made some predictions.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I think as a bonus prediction I said that 2 Point Hospital was going to come to Switch, and it's coming to Switch, Bobby.
Really?
Yeah.
When do you know when it's coming to Switch?
I don't know when.
Interesting.
I don't know if they've said, but definitely coming. It's coming to PS4 as well and PC. Or it's already on PC. So
I know you're very happy about Switch Force coming. Or here.
Yes.
Switch Force is here now.
Yes.
That was one that I know you wanted. You had actually tweeted at them, I believe, saying, like, when you need to put this collection on the Switch.
Yeah, I tweeted them several times. I was like, it makes total sense. Mighty Switch Force. Yeah. Over and over I told them that, and they eventually listened to me, so,
I think it was when you started showing up at the front door of the offices. They were just like, okay, we need to get this kid the hell out of here. Let's just give him what we want. So, Toby, you know that I enjoyed the Wii U.
I do know this.
And I would games-wise, I would probably say, although Switch is really killing it right now, it's one of my favorite consoles that Nintendo put out.
Right.
Because the games were fantastic. But I enjoyed the gamepad, right? I really did. And there was aspects of the Wii U that I enjoyed a lot. And there was one thing that I always regretted not getting my hands on. And yesterday that has happened. So.
Oh, you got the Wind Waker one.
Yes, I got the Wind Waker, Hylian, whatever the hell you want to call that, the hieroglyphics around the end of it, around the edges of it and stuff.
Yeah,
but picked up.
How much was that?
$40.
Yeah, just for the
gamepad. I just got the gamepad. That's all I got.
Yeah, because there's nothing on the console.
There's nothing on the console. None of that, which made no sense at all. And that's why I always regretted not having the gamepad. So now I'll just put it up on the shelf. I got a little stand, and I'll put it up on the shelf and stuff, and it'll be back there. But it's fantastic, man. It's really, really nice. You get the Triforce logo on there and all the hieroglyphics and stuff. Mm-hmm. Just so nice. And it's in gold. They did a good job. They should have just made the whole thing gold. And then just the etching in black. But they were real cheap.
Yeah.
Me and Nick, because I got it from Nick Militia yesterday.
Yeah.
At Next Level Games. And we were talking about it. He goes, yeah, you can tell they just didn't even give a damn about the Wii U. Like, even their special edition consoles, they didn't even take any care with.
Yep.
It was the only special edition that came out on the Switch. I mean, on the Wii U. And it came bundled with Wind Waker. And I saw this, and I was like, I follow him on Instagram, and it went up, and I was like, Nick, I need that. Like, I need that in my life. So he was like, all right, I'll put it on hold for you. Come get it. And then, that was earlier this week, and then yesterday I went up and picked it up, and I was like, oh, I love it. I love it. It's a shame you don't collect out of box amiibo.
Well, what did he have?
He has all the Zelda ones.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I would love to get them for Toby, but Toby collects in-box only.
You know what?
Look, how quickly we changed. Look at you teetering on the fence over there.
No. I don't, because it's a blur in my memory, but I got a Nintendo email maybe a month ago, and they were like, oh, we've restocked all of these amiibo. So I went on there and put a bunch of Zelda ones that I didn't have in my basket. And I'm pretty sure I ordered them, but they've not come yet. So I don't know if...
You might want to take a look at that, Toby.
Yeah. Because at the time I was pre-ordering lots of different amiibo. I made like 3 different orders to Nintendo on the same day, because it was like... I ordered the Link's Awakening special edition for you.
Yes, thank you.
And then there was some other that's it. The Link's Awakening amiibo came up not long after that, so I was like, all right, got to get that. And then after that, there was a couple of other amiibo that came out, and I was like, all right, another order.
I have to really, maybe this week, lay out my amiibo orders where they are. I have no clue where my amiibo orders. I used to know, no problem, and I've kind of gotten lazy with it, and it's starting to scare me because I double ordered Pokemon Trainer and Pichu.
Yeah, I've done that with the Link's Awakening one as well. So I need to.
And I'm like, what is happening here? So I don't even know if I have that one. So if I don't have that one, hang on to it.
Right.
And I'll get you the money for it and all that stuff. Yeah. So let me take a look real quick, and not now, but after. Yeah. I'll take a look around and see if I can find this stupid thing. That's the problem, man. I'm like looking around, I can't. I'm like, then I got the email that like, hey, 2 places, email me. Hey, your pre-orders are ready. I'm like, what? And I'm like, I don't know. But Isabelle looks really cool.
Yeah.
The Isabelle amiibo for Smash. She looks good. But man, Pokemon Trainer looks really cool. And Pichu's actually a lot. I mean, you would think Pichu's really small. He's actually a little bit bigger than you expect, but he's smaller, but he's bigger. But it's nice. The amiibo are really well done. They're doing some really good stuff with the Smash ones that are coming out. Just nuts. I'm ready for them to stop. Like, this is just because I feel obligated to buy now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I know what you mean.
I don't really need it, but I have every single one. I'm like, I can't stop now. I have to complete the collection. Yeah. So whatever. Anyway, so today we're doing we're going back to the well a little bit with our single topic, and I'm going to reach out to some YouTubers and different people this week, get them to make some episodes. I'm not going to go as crazy as I did before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually sporadically drop them throughout the month of August. So we start here with Toby, and then throughout the month of August, you'll get bonus episodes. Just, each week, you get 1, maybe 2, 3, but I'm going to grab different people. This week, I'm actually on Thursday, I'm recording with Nick Militia, and he's going to do this topic. And,
awesome.
And I felt he was really good. I felt like he would be really good for this show and for this particular topic. So I tapped him, and I was like, hey, so let's get into the topic. So the topic is, what are your 5 all-time favorite Nintendo games? And so Toby will list each one, and each one he lists, we'll kind of have a little discussion about it and talk about it. So, and then moving forward, all the different guests will do the same thing. They'll bring 5, and we will discuss them. So Toby, what is your? And how are you gonna do it? You're gonna do like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or are you just gonna list them randomly?
I think I'm just going to list them randomly because it's so hard to have favourites. You know what number 1 is anyway.
Well, here's the funny thing. When I sent this to Toby, right?
Yeah.
He comes back and goes, oh, so I can have 5 Zelda games? And I'm like, I mean, you can, but let's be fair. The 5 Zelda games are not the best Nintendo games of all time.
Well, they are. However...
Please stop. They're not the best of all time. They are. Zelda games are fantastic. But whatever, go ahead. I digress.
Anyway,
Toby. And here's the other thing. This is what Toby feels are the 5 best. This isn't what. Yeah, so it's all personal opinion. It doesn't this is no official list. Nobody get mad because some of the game is missing.
We are going to do an official list. This is going to be our desert island game.
I'm not adding to this list. This is just your list. This is just
but everyone else's list. We're going to make a big list, combine all the games that people bring. And then we'll just have a video game hall of fame.
Oh my god!
Because we all have impeccable taste, especially me. So.
Oh my god! Go ahead. What's your?
All right. So number 1, we'll just get the obvious one out of the way. Link to the Past. Absolutely, stone cold classic.
Now, why wouldn't you say that? Why wouldn't you say that for the end?
Because it's the obvious one. You know I'm going to pick that one, Bobby.
Okay.
There's no suspense.
That's true. Okay, so Link to the Past. This is my favorite game of all time. I know. I was gonna say this is not only your favorite Nintendo game. This is your favorite game of all time. Like this is the big one, and me too. You know what I mean? Like, well, it's not my favorite game of all time. My favorite Zelda game of all time.
Yeah,
and But go ahead.
I go on about this game a lot. I just think that the gameplay has stood the test of time so much that even after all these years, you can go back and have as good a time as you would have back then, and it holds up against all the modern games that are inspired by it today. You know, you look at games like Blossom Tales on Switch, which is heavily inspired by it, which is great, but it's still never going to be as good as the original that it's inspired by. So
yeah,
I think the art style holds up, the gameplay's great, the music is great, and like I said, it sets so many precedents, I think, that people have followed on.
The thing that I would be as bold to say is I feel like as time has gone on, the artwork has gotten better.
Well, yeah, it's
pixel art is just classic, and
yeah,
it's what's nice about, like, when you look at I'll throw out like Cadence of Hyrule. Cadence of Hyrule is a pixel art type game. It's a fantastic game, but when I look at Cadence of Hyrule, right, I look and I go, it's just a little muddied because they're really doing a lot. There is something about Link to the Past that is just simple, and in its simplicity,
it's restrained, isn't it?
Yeah, it's within its simplicity, it's just impeccable, and it's just amazing to me that a game that's 30 years old, you know, right? It's over 30 now. A game that old is just still to this day. You pick it up, it looks gorgeous, feels gorgeous. And the one thing that I will say that I love about that game, that only happens one moment in that game, the opening scene with the rainstorm.
Yeah.
Like, that rainstorm's happening and you go out and you feel the terror of, like, young Link, his uncle left, you don't know what's going on, and you go from the house, you got no weapons, and you're like, what is going on here? And the thunder and lightning's happening. It is really such a moment in that game that I feel as a young man when I was playing that, like, it's something that I think you're always searching for. And to me, that was the first time that I can ever remember that type of moment happening, where you're playing and it's like you could feel the game, you know, you can feel the moment and the gravity of what's going on in that moment as you're rushing to the castle and you find your uncle and he's dead basically, and he gives you the sword and stuff, and it's like, you know, you fall into this moment where it's like, it's the first time we got any type of real true story to a Zelda, to any game really at that moment. And B, I mean, there was games with story, but it wasn't like you felt what was happening here. You know what I mean? And then you finally get, you go into the castle and you're doing what you're doing, and then you get up there and it's like you're ready, and you're like, in my mind, I remember playing the game, I'm like, wait a minute, this is the final battle, right now. Like, I'm fighting the boss right now, and this is it. And then the moment happens, and like, I'm trying not to spoil any too much, you know, but it's a 30-year-old game, whatever, people. But like, you know, you get that battle, and then you lose the princess, and it's like, what the hell's going on here, you know? And then it puts you on this journey, which the journey is fantastic, like, so well done, so good. And I feel like it's one of those seminal games that, like, always in my mind, I think I'm always comparing games to. Just the little the hits and the moments and the you know, and I mean, in recent history, probably the only game that's ever done that for me on that level, that scale, is probably Last of Us, where you just have these moments where emotion is raw, you're hitting these moments, these things are happening, and it's like everything is in tune with what's going on. So it's crazy that little opening of Zelda just puts all this weight and you know, pressure on to me for all games moving forward, to like, you need to try to emulate this and try to make your game do something similar to this to be amazing. And it's just so good, man. Like, the game is fantastic.
Yeah, it's paced really well. There's no real waiting in the game. Like,
No.
it's all action all the time.
Yeah.
And, like, that's why it's such a good speed running game as well, because you don't have to, like, sit around and wait for stuff to happen. It's full of great puzzles and great secrets. You really feel like you're exploring the world with all the bombable walls and secret passages. And
what I loved about that game was when you finally beat it, it goes back and kind of closes the loop on stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, there's, because what's happening is you're playing the game and, like, you're running into little storylines that are happening.
Yeah.
And it closes the gap on all of them. And
it
like,
definitely, yeah.
And it shows you, like, hey, this person.
It's brilliant. There's that scene where you part of the game you run into this house, and there's this single guy sitting in a room.
Yes.
And he's complaining that he's had an argument with his brother.
Yes.
And you can blow a hole in the wall, and then you go into the other room on the left, and his brother's in that room.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I hate my brother or whatever. And then at the end of the game, the credits roll, and they've made it up. And they're like, so stuff like that is really, really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So, okay. So what is your next game?
Mario Galaxy.
Ooh.
This is my favorite Mario game of all time. It's just sort of a grand adventure. Like, they went into space, and that felt so new for Mario. So, you know, the whole gravity mechanic in that game, where you've got the small planets and you can long jump and go underneath the planet, totally different. Never seen anything like that in a game before. And it just felt so satisfying to run around the planets in that game. And the musical score to go with that, the big, like, everyone's favourite, like, was it Gusty Garden and everything, like, so good to just have a space adventure. Like, Mario Odyssey does some similar things, but it never feels as special and as grand because, you know, and
I'm with you there.
Just, like the way that, you know, it is sort of, it's almost like level based. It's not open world or whatever, but the levels are so creative and fun that I don't think that really matters. Like, every galaxy is different.
The thing with that game was, so I got my Wii 2 years after launch, and that was not a launch game. That game came 2 years later.
Yeah,
and that I got that game, and I got Twilight Princess for Christmas that year.
Yeah,
and I got the Wii plus those games for Christmas, and I remember playing Galaxy, and at that moment I had been out of video games for, I would say, 3 years. Like, I just stopped playing video games. And I think I've told the story on numerous podcasts before, but I had gotten to this point in my life where I felt like games are dumb, time to be an adult, time to be a man. I'm married now, and Tony was like, no, why are you not playing? Like, I don't understand it. You talk about all the time when you grew up, you played games. Why don't you play anymore? And she bought me the Wii for Christmas because I had gone to my brother's and played it. He had a friend over who had it, and I kind of fell in love with it again, and it kind of rekindled my love for games again. But then I remember playing Mario Galaxy and getting the vibe of playing the original Mario when I was like 13, 14 years old or whatever it was, however old I was when I played the first one. And that giddiness inside of, like, so when you play the original Mario Brothers, right, and you play through, and that lonely Goomba's coming along, and you run into him the first time, you're like, oh, what the heck's going on? And you go, oh wait, you jump, and you jump over him, and it's like you're learning how to play the game. I got so many times in Galaxy, I was getting those vibes of, like, sitting there with the nunchuck in my hand, or the Wiimote and the nunchuck, right, and I'm like, this is such a great setup, you know. And then, like, when you're going up those spirals, and you're like,
you spin.
You spin the Wiimote, and Mario spins up, and then he like shoots off, and then you flick your wrist, and he'll jump into a star, and you flick your wrist, and like boom, he takes off. It is so cool, some of that stuff that they did in that game.
the controls are brilliant in that game. Like, people complain about motion controls and stuff, but just the very motion of just wriggling your wrist to make him spin was really satisfying. And the way you could use the pointer to collect the little star bits and stuff.
Yeah, so as you're flying through the sky, you're like...
Yeah, and
it was so
cool. There's bits where you can grab onto... When you're floating through space, you can grab onto stars and pull them.
Yeah, man.
Pull yourself
like the gravity. Like, that's the thing, too. Like, the gravity in that game is really cool. Like, I used to like when you'd have like these little planets next to each other. Yeah. And you would jump just enough that the gravity from the other one would pull you to it. Yeah. It was so cool, man.
There was this one little mini planet that I always remember, because it reminds me of the tech demo that they had for Super Mario 64 with the rabbit. And I think they did the same thing for this, because you go onto this little mini planet and there's like 3, maybe 4 mini rabbits, and they run all over the planet, and you've got to chase them and pick them up. And you do have to like long jump to get around really quickly and try and grab hold of them and stuff. Yeah, and really, I don't know, it's like they perfected the 3D platformer with Mario 64.
Yeah.
And then they completely reinvented it with Mario Galaxy.
I agree.
It's such a clever game mechanic, and I think that's really special, because I don't think we're going to get anything like that again.
No. And it's funny, because the 2 games, so you've listed 2 games so far. And for me, so far, there are 2 games that, like, I've taken those games and played them beyond where it was. Like, I collected every single star in Galaxy. Like, I completed that 100 and whatever % that you needed to do. I collected every star, did not stop, and I love that game. Like, that game was so good. And the same thing with Link to the Past. Like, I did everything you could accomplish in that game. It was just phenomenal. So, there we are. Number 3.
Number 3, we're going to go with Metroid Prime on GameCube.
Okay, so go ahead. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
So, like, this game for me, it has that same sort of grand feeling of Mario Galaxy, but in a different way. Like, you really feel like it captures like the loneliness of Metroid, and you feel like you're in a horrible planet surrounded by aliens. It's like, everyone goes on about Super Metroid being their favorite Metroid game because it invented that genre.
Yes.
But taking that into 3D for me was just so unbelievably satisfying. Like, the platforming was really good, especially for a first-person shooter. You don't get a lot of first-person shooters that feel good to jump from platform to platform, and for some reason it just works in Metroid Prime. Like, the lock-on combat is great. The scanning, I love scanning and reading through all the lore that you can find and finding the enemy's weaknesses. It's sort of like a Pokedex in a way when you scan the enemies. Like, the secrets that you can find, and going back through, opening new areas up with your new weapons that you unlock, and then the morph ball sections as well. Like, you'd think, how would they, for a first-person shooter, how are they going to make the morph ball work? Well, they just zoom the camera back and you can see the ball rolling around, and it's kind of like pinball or something in a way. Like, and that sort of stuff was like really puzzling, and a lot of it was to do with like momentum and gravity and everything. So, but yeah, just that whole game is just so amazing. Like, they nailed the environments. You go into like the snowy area, and it's just, the music is absolutely amazing. Like, I think the other Metroids, I didn't play Metroid 2. I've watched people play that, but I did play Metroid Prime 3, and that was great, but still not quite as good as the original one.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because for me, this is the one game, sadly, that I know people love, and I love Metroid. I love Metroid so much. Super Metroid is probably one of my favorites to this day. Metroid Zero Mission is really phenomenal. I just can't play first-person games.
Yeah.
And sadly, Metroid Prime showed me exactly that I can't play first-person games. Because I love Metroid so much, I went and bought it, and literally just seasick the whole time and nauseous. And I was just like, just really, and I'm getting better about it now, it seems. And I'm not sure if it's because the games are running smoother and better. like I can play Minecraft, and Minecraft does nothing to me. Although Minecraft is more slow pace, you know.
Yeah.
Like, the problem is when you get into the jumping and moving and everything's spinning around, like it just makes me nauseous. And it's sad because I know that game is really good, and I wish that I could put the proper time into it. I just can't. So I was curious, like, is one your favorite of them all? But I mean, it must be if you listed it. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, 3 was good, but it had some weird motion control stuff that I think did take me out of it a little bit. That's right,
because 3 was on the Wii, right?
Yeah, it was. There was just an annoying thing where a lot of the time they wanted you to like put. I don't know if it's just your arm or something like a key in, and then you turn the Wii remote and then you pull it out, and just doing that, they did that over and over and over, and it's like, it's just not that satisfying. It just seems unnecessary. Like the aiming was great, but
I remember listening to, and I don't know what podcast it was on, but I remember Greg Miller saying this. That the one thing he hated about video games were when they took a cool moment and they just beat it to death.
Yeah.
Like that moment of the key and all would have been fantastic if they did it the one time.
Yeah.
Because it's all you would have talked about.
Yeah.
But when they do it 50, 60 times in a game,
it's just so not novel, tired of it. Yeah.
Because I remember, like, when Sony came out with the pad, right?
Yeah.
I remember that's how you unlock doors, or you open doors. You put your finger on and slide. And he was like, dude, it is so fulfilling the first time you do that.
Yeah.
And then, like, after the 60th time, he's just like, this sucks. Like, enough. Like, you took a cool moment, made it happen, and now you're beating it up, you know?
Yeah.
It's so and I think another thing, although this didn't bother me at all, I think one of the coolest things that Sony does is when you're playing GTA 5 and the lights up top start flickering, like when it's a police car and it's red and blue.
Flash.
That's really cool, man. That's really cool. Anyway, okay, what is number 4 for you, Toby?
All right, so this is a controversial one because it's exclusive to the Nintendo 64. It's published by Nintendo, developed by Rare, though. So are we going to allow this?
I mean, I guess technically Rare was part of Nintendo, but it's not.
I've got other games on the list. If you want to disallow this, I don't mind. I've got other games.
We'll save it as a bonus. Let's come back to it. We'll save it as a bonus. That that way we can listen to it and we can talk about it. But here's my feeling. I want to just clarify this. This is my feeling on it.
Yeah.
If it was a Nintendo game, it would still be on a Nintendo console. Those games are all now owned by Microsoft.
Well, that game is in the ether. No one owns that game anymore.
What's the game?
GoldenEye. GoldenEye 64. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it did just come back onto the Wii, didn't it?
They remade it on Wii, but it's not the same game.
Oh, it's not the same game.
No, it's got Daniel Craig in it, and it's only got like 1 or 2 levels that are the same, and the rest of it's new.
I don't know. I mean, we can save it. We'll just
just be bonus.
We'll do 2 more because I really don't know what the answer is to that, and it's whatever.
So now I've got 3 to choose from.
But before we jump ahead, like, let's just discuss it real quick. Because that game again, I got so sick playing that game.
Right.
But what's a moment that you loved about it?
I mean, it's so weird because it's really fun to go back to today, but the controller is a little bit. Because you've only got the C stick, the C buttons and the stick to move. So if you look at it from the perspective of when it first came out, at the time, I'd say it was groundbreaking for a first-person shooter on console. It was just so cleverly made that it's a film tie-in, but it doesn't really feel like it. It's not got that laziness to it. Like, it feels like they were really passionate about making a fantastic shooter. You could shoot the enemies in specific body parts and they'd react to that. So, like, the AI was really interesting. The levels were great. Really sort of creative levels. And you went all over the place. Like, you had the facility and the dam at the very start. which the dam is like the perfect speed run level, by the way. Like a lot of these levels are in this game, but I used to try and speed run that level, and it's funny because you have to like look down at the floor to stop the frame rate going crazy. Because like the less stuff you're looking at, the more smoother it runs. So anyway, that's sort of beside the point. But yeah, like it's just such a great game, especially in multiplayer. Like the four-player multiplayer in that was so fun. Like you can set your own rules and have your own weapon types and different characters. And you know what was really funny? It was my brother always picked Oddjob. And Oddjob is the shortest character in the game, which makes it impossible to hit him because you have to aim at the floor to hit him. Because like the default aim just goes above his head. And I always used to say he was cheating, but he said, no, I'm not cheating.
Murray's a cheater. I'm just going to say, I would have been the same way. I'd have been the same boat as you.
Yeah,
that's cheating.
Like Jaws was my favourite Bond villain of all time. So I used to play as Jaws. And he's like the biggest character, so it's like can't miss me. But we used to do like speed runs of the boat level as well. The boat level is so clever because you have to go through this. It's called the frigate, and you go through rescuing hostages. And we used to try and speed run the level and try and do it with chops only. So you just run through, just constantly. And it make that sort of noise as you chopped, and then you just spam people on the back of the head, and they just collapse on the floor. And it's just hilarious. But
good Lord.
As you can tell, this game's got a lot of nostalgia for me, so that's probably the main reason I picked it.
Yeah.
But I do think that as a first-person shooter, it's got fantastic levels.
Yeah.
It's very there's a lot of variety to it. You go into the jungle, and you end up on the cradle at the end, and just classic shooter, really. So
pretty awesome. What Okay, what's your fourth game on the list?
Oh man, so I've got 3 extras in case I couldn't pick that.
Okay.
And I'm struggling to pick between them, Bobby. I really am.
Oh. You're only picking 2. You're not going to be sitting here all day reading off games.
I know what one of them is. So the other one, I'm just going to say Lilac Wars, aka Star Fox 64.
Okay.
This is just, I don't play a lot of space shooters. Like flying games generally make me feel sick, but this one was like kind of on rails. Like a lot of the levels, there's 1 or 2 sort of open area levels, but it was you are flying forward through a level, and you're constantly moving. You can slow down, but you can't really stop. But it's such a really cool arcade experience.
Yeah,
and it's really exciting to like take risks and pick up the little golden rings to power up your weapons.
Yeah.
And then you could do a barrel roll, or do like the loop and get through the levels. And all the levels had like different alternative routes that you could take. And depending on which way you went through the level, like at the end, you would fight a different boss or fight the boss in a different way. And instead of being mission complete, which is the standard way of playing the level, you'd have mission accomplished, which felt good. That was like the special way of beating the level. And that would open up like the more difficult route through the game. And so there's a lot of replayability with it. Like you could go through multiple different ways, all these different levels that you could go through. You had the flying missions, you had an underwater submarine one, you had land cruiser missions where you're driving a tank around with like boosts and everything. And plus it had great characters and great story as well. I mean, not really an in-depth story, but you're just going to kill Andros, but you had the whole thing with Fox's father and everything, and just it felt kind of like Star Wars in a way as well. Like especially at the end, where you go through the evil lair at the end and you defeat Andros, and then you've got to escape. There's like an escape mission where it's all going to blow up and you've got to try and get out. It's really, really exciting. I think that they nailed it first time. Like, I mean, obviously you got Star Wing on the SNES, but that's more of a tech demo, I think, than anything. But they've not really done anything better since in that franchise. So
that's what I was gonna say. For me, the original Star Fox on the Super Nintendo, I just thought that was horrible. I hated like the polygons because I felt like at that time that was like the Virtual Fighter era. Sega was starting to do some stuff with the Saturn. That was like a lot of their games were having those polygonal type games, like just weird shapes and stuff. And I just was not a fan. I thought, this is stupid. This is the worst looking art style. I hate it. And then Star Fox comes out, and I'm like, I want nothing to do with this game. Did not buy it on the Super Nintendo. Then it comes to Star Fox 64, and I'm like, let me try it, you know. And I felt like like you said, I feel like it's never come back to be a good game, and any iteration of that game is just bad. But the one thing I'll say is that I thought was fantastic playing that game was you felt like you were actually Star Fox because of the way the N64 controller was. With that C stick in the middle, or the analog stick in the middle, you felt like you were a pilot, like with that, and that game was a lot of fun. Like, it was one that I bought, and it didn't take long to beat. I think you could actually beat the game in 45 minutes to an hour.
Well, yeah. If you go the easy route, then dead quick,
But it was so much fun, and like it's one of those games that, like, because it was short and quick and easy per se. Once you accumulate and you got weapons and you start to get better and better and better, it became easier and easier and easier. But because of the shortness of the game, it just made for replayability. Like, it was like a no-brainer to be like, hey, you know what? I got some time to kill. Let me just jump in and see how far I can get before I die, or before this game ends. And it was really good.
You know what? The boss fights in that game are fantastic.
Yeah, they're really good too.
They have the little, like, flashing weak spots on their body, and like they're almost like Transformers. A lot of them, like you destroy it like a gun turret, and that part of the boss will just break and fall off. And then they will like spin round 90 degrees, and all of a sudden they've got different way of attacking you, and you've got to shoot them in a different spot. There's this one level that's like you're on a lava planet, and the whole way through this level, it's just there's like a sea of lava on the floor, and you get these big waves that come up, so you've got to pull up and get into the sky to avoid getting burnt. Because if you flew too low, like even if you weren't in the lava, because you're so close to it, you would still take damage. And it was like felt so dangerous getting low. But they would hide like the bombs and stuff really low down. So
Starlink is probably well, to me, it's the best Star Fox game since Star Fox 64. So, I mean, if you're a fan of Star Fox, I would say get Starlink for the Switch. It's the Star Fox stuff is really phenomenal. It really is. They did a great job with it. So, we'll see. What is your final game there, Toby?
Bringing it back around to Zelda. We're going Breath of the Wild, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I figured you were going to do that.
Yeah, so, I wanted a whole list of Zelda games, and I could easily do that, but... But this is definitely, I feel, the second best Zelda game full time. That I just feel like Nintendo are just so good at nailing that feeling of adventure. And Miyamoto's always gone on about like being inspired by going out into the countryside, and that's like he's finding adventure in the world, and he brings that inspiration into his games. So, and I feel like that is what Breath of the Wild is. You're coming out of that cave at the start of the game, and you've got an entire world realized for you to explore, and just that feeling of freedom. Just I never felt that in a game before. Even other open world games before it, just never felt, because other open world games, you're restricted to how you traverse the world. But because you can climb, just the very aspect of being able to climb any surface in that game, it's unbelievably cool. Just you can go anywhere and do anything and explore every nook and cranny of this world you can go to. And I just love that. And I think that feeling is just unparalleled.
I agree.
I
agree. I have fond memories of that game. That was a game that I felt like, you and I and Sean, we connected on. And we would all play together. We talk about it together. This is like when that game came out, that was right at the beginning of us doing Make Us Better. And we'd all get in and we would start playing. And then like we would just, discuss it. And try to keep it. You were such a baby about spoilers.
Yeah.
So we were trying to keep it like you're trying to talk about something you saw without telling any detail. It was so difficult to do. But the one thing that I loved about that game and at that time was the three of us were sharing an experience together.
Yeah.
And it was a different experience. Same game, all kind of started the plateau, did the same things on the plateau, and then it was like once we left the plateau, we never came back together again to be like, this is what we're experiencing equals, you know?
Yeah, because there's no real critical path through the game.
No.
They kind of suggest that you go to the Zora's place first, you know.
Yeah.
You go to Hateno village, but you don't even have to go there. Like, I started the second playthrough earlier in the year. I didn't go there at all. Like,
yeah.
I ended up at Hateno village, like, 20 hours in. And I was like, it's crazy. Like, you know, just the freedom of that game. I keep going on about it, but just there's nothing else like it in gaming, really.
Yeah. Nah, I'm with you. I'm definitely with you, and it's pretty crazy how spectacular that game is. It makes me, you know, excited for the sequel, honestly, and I can't wait. But before we wrap up, are you playing anything that, you know? Have you been playing anything this week?
No, nothing.
Nothing at all.
Just a bit of Mario Maker.
Okay, well that's something. I mean, you beat you took the world record back from my drummy.
Oh yes, I did. Dude, you would not believe like how happy I was. Like, because I was just playing it. I was like, oh, I've got a couple of minutes to spare. Turn it on, and I think it was the third attempt, and I got it. And I was like, I didn't even feel like it was a good time, but somehow I shaved 0.035 seconds off or something. I was like, damn.
I've been playing. Dude, Toby, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I am like inundated with games right now. I bought Fire Emblem.
How are you finding that ball?
I have not even played it yet, Toby.
Oh gosh, okay.
I have not even put it in yet. I'm gonna do it today. I'm gonna try it today.
You know what? I watched like 20 minutes of a stream that Switch Island were doing, and it was just menus.
Yeah.
Like, for full straight 20 minutes, no gameplay, just going through menus. And I was like, this is not a good streaming game. Like,
no, it's not. It's not. That is not a game you want to stream at all, in my opinion. The hardcore of the hardcore might enjoy it, but that's not something that I would enjoy. Have not played this game yet either, Marvel Alliance 3, but I have it. The games I've been playing, this Dragon Quest Builders 2, I am so... I'm just so over the moon with this thing. Yeah. You know, it's like crazy how good it is. You know, it's... I probably got close to 40 hours into it now. And I can't stop playing it. Now, I have stopped playing it because I've been playing this other game, Super Mega Baseball 2. And they brought it to the Switch.
What is that?
It's a baseball game.
Yeah, but is it like arcade? It sounds like
it's kind of arcadey. It's kind of arcadey. Okay. So this is what I love about it. So I started playing it, right? And I bought, you know, I got it for myself. Rybo's been playing it. There's a few people that I do. Brendan Myers, he's been playing it as well. And the one thing that I've noticed about it is there's a couple things that they do really, really well. One is you start off and you're playing the game and you're playing on a lower level. You know what I mean? So if you haven't ever played per se before, you just don't necessarily have to turn the levels up. You can just play. But as you start to, you have like your normal, your easy, normal, medium, hard. But there's like 5 clicks to get to the next one. So if you're playing easy, they don't call it easy, honestly. I'm just using those names.
Yeah.
But like if you're playing the easy mode, right? There's 5 like ticks of the level before you get to medium, and so you're playing different levels within the different levels of the game. So and then what's happening is here's an example. Typical baseball games, either you have field assist on or you don't. There's fielder assist on when you play the lower levels. So if a fly ball gets hit to the outfield, the players will run over and catch the ball for you. What they start doing is you start ticking the levels up. The players run a little bit slower to the ball.
Yeah.
Which now forces you to grab the stick and push him to that level.
Right,
and get him.
okay.
So when you take the controls, he runs faster.
Right.
But if you don't take the controls, they run slower. So when in the earlier levels, fly balls that are getting gobbled up, no problem. They're not anymore. And you have to actually start to run. And so now I've been playing all weekend, right? And now to the point where I'm more and more of the controls are coming back to me.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've learned the game. I feel like now I'm actually playing the game by myself, and I'm playing defensively, and it's just so good. There's a couple things that I love about it. One, the online play is fantastic. It's cross-play,
Right.
so you can play with people on Xbox or PlayStation or wherever it is. Cross-play's unlocked, so you can play that way. Just jump on, and it only takes like maybe 30 seconds to find a game with somebody, and then you play with somebody from around the world.
I'm surprised, because I wouldn't have thought that game would be that popular.
Oh my god, dude. And because everybody wanted it on the Switch. It's one of those things.
Right.
It's one of those games that you look at and you go, this would be perfect on the Switch.
Yeah.
It is. It's perfect on the Switch. Leaderboards shows you, like, of your friends, who has the most hits, who has the most home runs, who has the most wins. You know, it's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
But what I like about it, it's fully customizable. So I go in and I'm playing the first day, and I'm like, this is really cool. And I was like, all of a sudden I realized, like, you could change the logos on the jerseys, the names, the players' names. I've actually gone in, changed every player's name on my roster to be, like, my favorite players of all time.
Oh, I thought you was going to say, like, you'd name them all Bobby or something.
No, I could. Bobby 1, Bobby 2.
You named one Toby, one Sean Capri.
I could do that. But this was just really fun to, like, go in and make the greatest baseball players, my favorite baseball players of all time, different, you know, position players and stuff. It was just, it's really cool. Takes me back to Baseball Stars on the original Nintendo, which was one of my favorite games of all time. And that's because, same thing, fully customizable, changing stuff up, doing stuff all over the place. So it's a good game. If you haven't played it, go get it. Go check it out.
It sounds like it's fun.
It's a blast. So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Nintendo Talk. Be sure to check out the other episodes we have going up. Probably won't have any this week, but next week we're definitely going to have one or two popping into the feed. So we'll have some mix and some variety and all that stuff. You can follow Toby here over on Twitter at Tobys_take. You can follow me, Instagram, Twitter at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Hold on. Happy birthday, Mr. Sean Capri. If you're listening to this on Monday, Sunday was Sean's birthday, so it is now today Sean's birthday as we're recording this. So you be sure to tweet at Sean Toby and say happy birthday. You understand?
At Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants.
You got it. That's what you do. Right now, tweet at Sean Connery. Yeah, Sean Connery. Sean Capri. Sean like Connery. Capri like the pants.
Happy birthday, Sean.
Tweet at Sean Connery and tell him happy birthday. Tweet to Sean Connery and say, Sean Connery, could you please tell Sean Capri happy birthday? There you go. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Ciao.
You went old school.
Yeah.
You went old school on that one.
Old
you
school.
Little. hell are you doing? Where you at?
What's up, Bobby? What's up, Bobby?
Oh, I'm a little nervous.
How you like my setup?
Oh, look at you. Look at you. About time. About time you stepped it up. I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Good.
I do. I like it a lot.
Let's get centered.
What's that?
Let's get centered.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I'm alright.
You look a little tired. A rough day?
Well, Evie was being a bit sick, so...
You know, Evie needs to stop being a little bit sick. Tell me
about
Tell her to suck it up. Raise your key. Not that hot.
Sorry.
That's good.
Is that okay?
That's good.
Yeah.
And then swing it a little. The camera, not you. Move the camera a little.
You don't want to see that?
Yes, I want that out of there.
Is that alright?
A little bit more.
A little bit more, okay.
A little bit more.
So now you got the light switch up there.
I can't see the light switch, though.
Alright.
It's up out of the way of the thing.
Alright.
Listen, I know what I see on my screen, all right? Just you calm down.
You know nothing, Bobby Snow.
You know what?
Get yourself a nice cool roller cola.
Dude, what no frills brand are you drinking?
Oh, yeah, dude.
That can't even be good. What are they, like a penny?
Dude, it's like £1, like 29 for 6 cans.
Yeah, I'm not drinking that stuff.
Dude,
That's
it tastes
cheap.
just like Coke, man.
No, I'll hang the effing call up right now.
What are you talking about?
Don't even come off with that. It tastes just like Coke.
It does.
It's a
But it's got
knockoff.
all the same ingredients.
It does not. Coke has a special formula that nobody has. It's a patented trademark formula.
All right. Carbonated water.
How do I know?
Sugar,
I don't have a can of Coke in front of me to compare with.
Sulfite ammonia caramel, or sulfate ammonia caramel, acid phosphoric acid, sweeteners, sucralose,
Are you done?
acasulfame
Are you done?
K, flavorings, contains caffeine. There you go. That's all you need.
It doesn't taste like Coke.
It does.
It does not.
Does.
If you
know what?
You know what? Don't.
It tastes good to me because it's cheap.
Well,
Saving money
kind of like
tastes
Sean
good.
Capri. He tastes good to you because it's cheap. Oh my god. Okay. So you know what we're doing here, right? You're doing the top 5 games of all time.
Yes, I've got a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Can it be an exclusive game published by Nintendo but not made by Nintendo?
Yeah. Well. I kind of wanted to just keep it Nintendo games, like games made by Nintendo.
I mean, everyone associates this game with Nintendo because it was exclusive and it was big on their platform. So,
No Banjo-Kazooie.
not Banjo. But you're on the right lines.
Mario RPG?
Nope.
I'm not going to guess it. Well, whatever. We'll debate it when we get to that point.
All right.
Okay.
Do Geek Outs though, right?
Oh yeah, we got Geek Outs, baby. We have a Geek Out. Get ready.
We have the technology.
I don't know about. Well, it is technology, so that is true. That is true. All right, ready? Put your glasses back on.
I'm cleaning them.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys. You look so stupid without your glasses on.
Thanks, Bobby.
You need to put them back on.
They're going back.
I need Smart Toby back. There we go. There we go. Holy crap. Never take them off of my presents again. All right, here we go. Lady. Oh, what the hell episode is it? 93. 93. Okay, right? Yeah.
It was
No, this is
91.
94. This is 94.
Yeah.
They did 2 episodes in between this one and the last one. So we're 94. Okay. Ladies, and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to episode 94 of the Nintendo Talk podcast. Let me start that over.
The Plodcast.
The Plodcast.
Dude, that's what all British podcasts should be called. The Plodcast.
The Plodcast. All right, let's do it again. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to episode 94 of the Nintendo Talk PlayStation.
What is that?
The Nintendo Talk PlayStation. I want to say Nintendo PlayStation podcast. That's why I'm struggling here. I'm struggling. Get it together, Bobby. You son of a. All right. I haven't done this in a while, man. I haven't fumbled in a while. I think I should go back to what's up, everybody. I just need to go back to that.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say that. Now I got the pressure on, man. I can't. Oh, I'm sweating.
Dude, Bobby, I'm not saying anything. I've got no expectations. I'm not taking the mic. I'm just watching you struggle. That's all.
Okay, here we go. As I get ready to go, I start to laugh because I know I'm going to screw it up again. All right, here we go. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to episode 94 of Nintendo Talk.